Schultz Sports, a major supplier of football helmets for the National Football League, issues the following warning on their helmets and on the website homepage. Warning! No helmet system can prevent concussions or eliminate the risk of serious head or neck injuries while playing football. Now, the warning label continues with some information about symptoms for concussions and concludes by repeating the original warning. To avoid these risks, meaning of playing football, do not engage in the sport of football. Hilarious! You and I are engaged in a game every day where our lives are put on the line for God. Let me correct myself. It's not a game. It's a major conflict. It's a spiritual war where we are wrestling against rulers and authorities and powers of the dark world and even against spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. And you must wear your spiritual helmet. Paul states in Ephesians 6:17, take the helmet of salvation. Now, the word take in the Greek is receive or accept the helmet. God offers the helmet of salvation to every believer. So receive it. Accept what has already been appropriated to you. Wear your helmet. The Roman soldier's helmet was originally made of leather strengthened with bronze or other metals. It was padded inside with felt and sometimes sponge. The helmet had cheek pieces, and the helmet was provided with a visor to provide added protection. The only thing that remained exposed were the eyes, the nose, and the mouth. And on top of the soldier's helmet was a figure decorated with horsehair, a crest. Only axes or hammers were among the few weapons that could even penetrate the soldier's helmet. The soldier's defensive armor was totally complete once he put on his helmet. Now, the helmet of salvation provides protection for the vital parts of the body, the head. The enemy strikes at your head knowing that your brain orders everything. Your head or the seat of the mind laid hold of the gospel when you got saved. And those who win in spiritual warfare, they take the helmet God has provided of salvation. This protects them against satanic deception as the enemy attempts to attack their minds. Believers, they got to wear their helmet of salvation. H.D.M. Spencer Jones says, the glorious truth that we are saved will protect us even at a vital part in our head or at our head. It'll keep us from intellectual surrender and rationalistic doubt. Lincoln states this, what ultimately protects the believers is that God has already rescued them from the bondage of the prince of the realm of the air and seated them with Christ in the heavenly realms. And by appropriating this salvation as their helmet, believers have every reason to be confident in the outcome of the battle. Thank you, Mr. Lincoln. One more thing. The spiritual warrior does not hide himself behind his shield of faith. The spiritual warrior looks over his shield of faith into the eyes of the enemy, knowing he is wearing the necessary equipment ensuring victory. So wear your helmet. Now, why in the world some people who ride motorcycles do not wear their helmets? It's a mystery to me, and I know all the arguments. The most frequent reasons for not using a helmet, it's like this: the heavy weight of the helmet, or the feeling of heat, or the pain in the neck, or I feel like I'm suffocating, or, I'm limited in my movements of my head. Oh, and it's really discomforting. Motorcycle crashes happen, and mortality happens because of head injuries. And people that wear helmets, most of the time their lives are saved. To me, the advantages of wearing a helmet outweighs the disadvantages of not wearing a helmet when it comes to riding motorcycles. So why do some believers wear the belt of truth, the breastplate of righteousness, shoes fitted with the readiness that comes from the gospel of peace, and hold up their shields of faith while they expose their head to the enemy? That remains a mystery to me. Believers, take the helmet of salvation. God is offering it to you. Take it, put it on, wear it. and you will win against the enemy.